Hi, everybody. I want to offer you a wonderful science experience that is going to help you to get outside this week. It's something that you can do in your nature journal. It's something that you can do with your entire family. And it is all about the weather. It is about tracking the weather. So, the big question that I would like to pose to you or give to you is, why is it important to track the weather? Why is it important to track the weather? So I want you to just brainstorm that in your head. Why might it be important to track the weather? Go ahead and really just think about that. Okay. So it is so important to track the weather because it helps us as humans be prepared in our lives, and it helps us actually survive if we can track the weather. And tracking the weather, by the way, means to observe it, to watch it, to notice it, and to see when it is changing, and when it changes, what is going to happen. So, for example, in Tahoe, where we are, in the wintertime, it's really important to track when a storm is coming. And the reason why is it helps us humans prepare and survive. And then on the opposite side of that, it's really important for us to track like warm weather, like the sun and things like that, because that might help us. Like, plan to go outside and go enjoy nature, and also what to wear. The other side of this too, something that's really important that's happening in the world, is something called climate change. The word climate, that's actually where the weather comes from. So the climate is in the atmosphere of the earth. Okay, so let me see if I'll draw a picture of the earth. Okay, here is the earth. Okay, whoa. Here's my earth. Okay. And then all around the earth is the atmosphere. Okay. And there's different levels to the atmosphere until you get out to space. There's clouds here. I'm just going to draw some clouds. I drew another circle around. That's the atmosphere. Here are the clouds kind of around the earth. Okay. Also, there's a protective layer around the earth in the atmosphere called the ozone. Okay. The ozone protects us from the harmful rays of the sun. And so, what's happening in this atmosphere here is scientists are tracking the weather, and they are noticing that things are changing. So they're noticing, like, down here where it's really cold, and down and up here where it's really cold. Okay, the north and the south poles, in the north and the south poles, the temperatures are getting more hot. Okay, and that is a climate, that's an atmosphere, that is a weather thing. And when the temperatures get more hot here, the icebergs melt. And when the icebergs melt, it makes the ocean rise. And when the ocean rises, like if you lived on an island and the ocean rose, the ocean could rise over your island and you would not have anywhere to live. Okay. Also, it's affecting the polar bears, right? So the polar bears, they live they live on the ice caps, they live on the glaciers, and that's where they hunt and they get their food. And because those glaciers, those ice caps are melting, because the climate is changing, because in the atmosphere the temperature is rising, they don't have food, and they're looking at maybe becoming extinct, which means not being around anymore, not living anymore, not being able to survive. Um, And, there's other ways that the climate affects humans so many ways. And so if you want, you can have a discussion with your family around what some of those ways are. Okay, so really this lesson is pretty simple. It's to go out every single day this week and track the weather. So I have a weather tracking document that is attached to this lesson, and it's called the weather chart. And it has sunny, cloudy, windy, and rainy. And so for the next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you are going to track what happens. So you just get to color in the square of what happens that day. Okay, so you're going to learn to become a scientist. It's actually called a scientist who studies the weather and the atmosphere is called a meteorologist. And so you are going to learn to become a meteorologist by tracking the weather. If you want to add on to this, you can, in your nature journal, if you have a nature journal, you can add two things, a notice and a wonder. And I want to show you some nature journaling keys that might help you with that. So a notice, I use an eyeball. So I draw an eye to show that I am noticing. Ooh, it's a funny eye. An eye to show that I'm noticing something. And so, for example, if I go out today outside, I notice that it is sunny. And so I'm going to draw a picture. Actually, let's see here. I'm going to show you so you can see what I'm drawing here. So I've got my eyeball. I'm noticing today that it is sunny outside. Sunny. With a tiny bit of wind. Okay. And the wind feels a little bit cold. And so I'm going to draw this little like snowflake. And even though it's not snowing or anything, it just feels a little cold. So that's going to be my symbol for that it's cold. Okay. Now I'm wondering something. Okay. So this is my nature journal symbol for wonder. And so I do my question mark. And I'm wondering if it's going to get cloudy and rain. That's my question. Okay, so those are two things that you can add to this activity in addition to filling out the chart. Okay, all right. At the end of all of this, what I would love to hear from you is, why do you think it's important to track the weather? And what was the most interesting thing that you learned during this time? Please reach out to me, whatever grade you're in, if you have any questions or you need some support. Okay? All right. Can't wait to hear from you.